Every once in a while there comes a project with such a big scope and ask that you're a little intimidated by it. But at the end of the day, it's very rewarding to sit back and look back at what you made and just realize that, wow, this is a big deal.
View Boston is a 3-story observatory at the top of the Prudential Center. We were honored to concept and create 12 projection mapping shows displayed on a 3-dimensional scale model of the city. Within a contained environment, we have a back wall around the city, and we can project onto the actual buildings, the streets, the water, the land in it, as well as the background.
So the first time I saw the space, I was really blown away by just how long it was. This thing is literally the length of a room. Really put things into perspective, because I now had to think about all the things that I was creating. How were they going to translate properly to this big space and still maintain the creative vision?
The city is huge, but there are all these tiny individual buildings, and there are like landmarks that we need to address and make sure that we're drawing attention to those places. How do we do that in an interesting way? How do we thread visual elements from this storytelling surface, this back wall, down into the model in a way that makes it feel compelling and 3-dimensional and interesting, but also keeps your attention directed into the place that we want it.
When we were talking about any of the seasons, we would pull in iconic elements of those seasons and intersperse them. So snow, leaves blowing, flowers blooming. These were all things that kind of like filled in the gaps, kept everything together and kept things moving. It was trying to tell a really wide story that it didn't matter where you were looking, you were able to follow along. The replayability, or if you would visit this thing again, and you never looked left the first time, there'd be a whole other story that was kind of being told at the same time.
I think the most challenging part of this project was the process of translating what was in my head to the model, because the model is huge, complicated, and the template file was unlike anything I've ever seen.
I got brought in to figure out how to animate across 32 projectors. We ended up settling on 6 very, very high-res rasters of an unwrapped version of Boston. So every single building, basically, each wall got turned into just a straight-up polygon.
It was very difficult to kind of gauge how long this process was going to take, because if you did something one time, you had to replicate it 6 other times in order to get it to display across the whole model.
It was a good thing that we had so many people working on it, because we had enough people to kind of say, hey, y'all figure out how to make this work while we keep designing. And I think the thing I learned on these really, really big projects is those kinds of things are vital. We had not had the crew that we had, this would not have gotten done.
The most exciting thing for me about this project was we actually went on a Friday when we were scheduled to wrap it. They approved it all, and we wrapped it. We were done in that day, and that was amazing. That never happens in this industry.
It is a very gratifying process to be able to work on something for so long in your own little microcosm, then bring it to the real world and have it actually work out how you planned.
It was a super cool opportunity to get to do a project like this. It was a massive team effort working with the client and with our studio to realize this vision that people will enjoy for years, hopefully.